16 going into 17. I'm not really sure how to talk about what being 16 was like. My 16th birthday was turned when the coronavirus pandemic was finally in full swing over in my state. School remained at distant learning for the rest of the year, and I had a lot of time on my hands. And I thought that this was going to be the year where I will make a name for myself and finally be happy with the person who I was. I could do anything, and I could do everything. But what came instead was just so unexpected. I don't even know where to start. There were many things that happened to me on that year. Many things that existed on both extremes that even I don't think it really knew that there was such a thing as a middle ground. Or maybe it did and it simply just decided to not deal with something so lukewarm. That year, I finally scored my driver's license and graduated from religious education. Social media continued to grow much worse for my well-being. I got to meet so many inspiring people who I wish nothing but the best for. And I learned that so many inspiring people was just disgusting and manipulative. I realized that I had been manipulated and used for sexual gain. I created a video that now exists as one of my most viewed videos to date. I'm still being recognized for something I made 2 years ago, something I'm not even proud of anymore. I finally started to clean myself up and develop a common day-to-day routine. My grades are finally sitting at the highest level that they've ever been. I've begun working on a collaborative AU project with one of my best friends. I grew up my hair so it doesn't look like a dumb bowl cut anymore, thank God. I'm starting to see my friends finally begin to grow their capabilities further and further. I'm finally growing more of a desire to start pursuing my own hobbies on a much more deeper level. But with that in mind, that begs the question, what am I gonna do now? Well, for one, I want to scratch off the hope of becoming famous on the internet. From what I've seen, it feels like content creators nowadays are just painted targets for cancel mobs who want to see someone burn for nothing but their own personal gratification. Plus, the thought of numbers has been consuming my own personal worth when they really shouldn't. I often find myself comparing to friends and acquaintances who have exceeded past dumbfounding numbers, making myself feel inferior, useless, and all that nasty junk. I don't want that to happen anymore. That's why I've kind of started to detach myself away from social medias more and more. Although I've slowly been falling into a sort of relapse, but I'm sure I'll climb out of that eventually. And lastly, I'm really just nothing special. I'm simply a guy who's tucked away in the back pocket of the universe off doing his own weird things. I don't have a lot of friends at school and I'm often left with my own head in the clouds, but at least I'm still keeping myself busy with further improvement. Not just with my general behavior and conversational behavior, but also with my own hobbies and interests. I want to start expanding myself to different mediums that always looked so cool to do, but I'd never really pushed myself to try to pursue such things. That's gonna be the goal for this year, and I hope I can make that happen. Plus, I also hope that I can start to see myself in a much more positive light, instead of existing as someone painfully average. Maybe that day won't come this year or the next, but I have optimism that it'll come someday. Happy birthday to me, I guess.